You've been told to be nice, be attentive, be available, to chase what you want before someone else gets it. And then you watched it backfire. You gave attention and it collapsed your value. You texted first and felt invisible. You tried to impress and somehow became forgettable. The brutal truth is this: desire doesn't blossom under constant warmth. It ignites in the cool edge of uncertainty. The moment you make yourself overly accessible, the mystery dies, and attraction walks out the door. If you feel that, if it stings a little because you've seen it happen, stay with me. You're about to learn a disciplined way of carrying yourself that flips the script without turning you into a jerk. I call it calculated disinterest. Calculated because it's conscious, directed, rooted in self-respect. Disinterest because you refuse to orbit anyone. This is not game playing for the sake of ego. It's the art of making your attention a prize again and letting her experience the visceral pull of wanting to earn it. Understand what this is not. It's not ghosting, not cruelty, not rudeness. It's not coldness born of fear. That's sloppy and cheap. Calculated disinterest is warm detachment. It's the stillness of a man with options. It's the steady gaze of someone who can appreciate a woman without lunging at her, who can notice beauty without fawning, who can enjoy connection while remaining anchored in his mission. You don't withhold attention as punishment, you allocate it as a scarce resource. You're not testing her worth, you're protecting your own center. It's a subtle but lethal shift. Instead of, how do I make her like me? Your inner question becomes, does this align with my standards? When you carry that frame, everything changes. Your timing, your language, your posture, your eyes, the ease in your breath. She feels the difference before a single word leaves your mouth. Attraction, at its core, is tension. Tension is built through contrast, between interest and restraint, presence and distance, warmth and mystery. Most men kill that tension by trying to resolve it too soon with constant contact, instant replies, over-explaining, or flooding compliments. Calculated disinterest protects the tension. You reveal just enough to spark curiosity. Then you step back to let her mind reach toward you. The reaching is what grows desire. Think of it like a fire. Too little oxygen and the flame dies. Too much wind and it blows out. Your job is not to smother or to storm. It's to regulate the air. If what you've heard so far is shifting how you see yourself, stay with me until the end. We're just getting started. Before tactics, you rebuild the instrument, you. Your nervous system is the stage. Slow your inner speed. The temptation is to rush, joke constantly, prove yourself. Don't. Breathe low and slow through your belly. Speak a half step slower than you normally do. Let pauses exist without scrambling to fill them. Hold eye contact long enough to feel the warmth, then softly break it first, like a man with somewhere to be. Don't nod frantically to be agreeable. Let your face rest in calm curiosity. Keep your shoulders low, your gestures economical. A man who moves less is a man who leads more. You're not a statue. You're a river with depth beneath a smooth surface. Disinterest starts with this internal tempo. She will mirror it unconsciously. Your calm forces the world to come to you. Now, the frame. Your life has gravity. You're not asking for permission to have standards. You're stating them with how you exist. Your time is scheduled, your priorities are clear, you can be flexible, but you're not open like a 24-hour supermarket. The simplest way to express this? Boundaries. When she asks what you're doing this weekend, you say, I'm prepping for a training early Sunday, free for a drink Thursday between 7 and 9. You lead, you decide, you limit. Disinterest here is the refusal to beg for availability. You don't clear your calendar for the hope of a maybe. You invite her into a slice of your world. You don't abandon your world to chase her into hers. First contact, whether in person or over messages, is where most men leak need. Keep it crisp. You open with something present, tense, and real. A sharp observation, a playful tease, an authentic compliment about style or vibe, not body. Then you ground it with a self-directed statement, where you're headed, what you're doing next. That close is the cut. I like your taste. The boots and the leather jacket actually work. I'm grabbing coffee across the street. Join for 5, then I'm bouncing. Interest, then motion. You create a small opportunity and walk, not hover. Even if she doesn't join, you've set a tone. You are in flow, not orbit. You notice and move. You open and close. This is calculated disinterest, the elegant limit built into your invitation. In conversation, watch for the moment most men lean too hard. A compliment lands, she smiles, the energy lifts, and then a man starts stacking compliments like chips at a casino, hoping to cash out into affection. Don't let your compliment stand like a well-placed picture on a white wall, clean, deliberate, with plenty of space around it. Ask one genuine question that requires more than a yes or no, then listen. When her answer wanders, gently redirect. All right, cut the fluff. What's the actual story? You're not interrogating, you're steering. Then you withdraw a little. Turn your body a few degrees. Glance away. Slow your breathing. Let a silence stretch. Not to be awkward, but to let her skin feel the space where your warmth just was. She'll either fill it with more investment or she won't. Either outcome is information. Qualification is the heartbeat of calculated disinterest. You do not chase approval. You issue invitations to earn yours. Ask questions that reveal values. What's something you do that's hard for most people? What would your best friend say you're stubborn about? Notice effort. Appreciate real answers with a quiet smile, a slight lean in, a calm, that's solid. If she dodges with fluff, you don't punish or preach. You simply relax back. Eye soften, energy cools, topic changes. Her nervous system registers the difference between empty pretty and grounded substance. That contrast is powerful. It teaches her, in a felt way, what gets intimacy with you. Not looks, not performance, realness. Your disinterest is not in her. It's in anything that lacks genuine alignment. Texting is where undisciplined men overdose attention. The rule is simple. Messages are for logistics, light banter, and micro-escalations, not for building a romance novel. Match her investment, then stay one step lighter. If she writes a paragraph, you answer with a tight, flavorful sentence. If she sends a flirty meme, you counter with a one-liner that frames a plan. Cute. Join me Tuesday. I'll test if you're this funny in person. Delay your replies sometimes, not to play games, but because you're actually busy. That's the key. Disinterest isn't fake. It's congruent. If you feel the urge to double text, stop. Let the last message breathe. When she asks a question, answer, then pivot. Short answer, yes. Longer answer, tell me the last time you did something you were nervous to do. You respond. You redirect. No needy loops. No over-availability. Let scarcity do its work. On the first meet, pick an environment that supports your calm authority. Somewhere you know well, where the staff greet you by name, where the music doesn't force you to shout, where you can sit side by side or at a right angle. You're there to connect, not to perform. Lead with a clear frame. I've got an hour. If we like each other, we extend next time. That line does everything, sets a limit, makes the choice mutual, and seeds future escalation. During the date, maintain the ratio. 60% listening, 40% talking. Share stories that reveal values, not achievement lists. Let your humor be the spice, not the meal. Touch only when it's natural and welcome. An animated hand on the table, a brief tap in laughter, a warm hand guiding through a doorway. And then you ease back first, so each moment lives as a highlight, not a cling. When she tests you, and she will, she's not trying to destroy you. She's checking the scaffolding. Are you always like this? How many girls do you say that to? You think you're special, huh? Hear the question behind the words, is your calm real or costume? Your responses should be light, unbothered, playful truth. No, only on Tuesdays after coffee. I'll repeat myself when it's worth repeating. I think I'm focused. Special would be a stretch. The content matters less than the flavor. You smile with your eyes, you stay unshaken, you throw the energy back gently. Disinterest here is your refusal to defend yourself to win approval. You're not selling, you're screening. And paradoxically, the less you try to convince, the more convincing you become. Now, the center of the technique, reveal, withdraw, and let her imagine. Show intent clearly at key moments, your eyes holding a beat longer, your voice dropping as you say, "You're trouble in a good way." Then let it float away. Look past her at something in the distance. Change the subject. She feels the heat, and then the breeze. This push of warmth and pull of space creates a rhythm her nervous system craves. If what I'm saying is hitting something inside you, drop your thoughts below. I read everyone, and your questions often become my next lessons. Your calendar is a weapon. Men destroy attraction by being perpetually on standby. You will never be on standby again. You choose 2 or 3 windows each week that belong to the unknown. Training, building, family studies, passion projects. These are non-negotiable. You do not tear them down because someone you barely know is free on a whim. If she can't meet Thursday, great, offer next week. If she balks, you smile and say, we'll collide when we're supposed to. Then you move on with your day. Disinterest frees you from the poverty of time chasing. It signals you are a man in motion, not a man waiting to be chosen. Scarcity, remember, is not an attitude you perform. It's a structure you live. Social proof amplifies disinterest organically. When people see that others value your presence, your attention becomes rarer by default. But learn this distinction. Social proof is not peacocking. It's not loud. It's integrated. You greet staff by name. You exchange a warm hug with a friend. You're comfortable in your body. You're not scanning the room for female validation. You're grounded, and the room notices. If another woman laughs at your joke and touches your shoulder, you don't milk it. You let it pass like weather. The subtle message, you don't cling to attention, so attention clings to you. That's attractive to everyone, including the woman you're with. If you overinvest, because you will sometimes, recover without drama. You send 2 messages too fast, or you ramble a bit, or you lean in too much. Don't apologize for being human. Simply pause. Give space. Return to your schedule. Next time you see or message her, reset the tone with brevity and direction. Got carried away earlier. Coffee Tuesday, 7:30, short and sweet. You acknowledge without groveling. This is a king's correction. Precise, impersonal, forward-moving. You don't punish yourself, you don't punish her. You just steer the ship back on course. Here's a layer most men miss. Reward and remove. When she invests, asks you a good question, shares something honest, suggests a plan. Reward with presence. Your eyes light, your body turns toward her, your voice warms. When she withdraws or plays low-effort games, you remove. Not with bitterness, but with silence. You respond later, shorter, or not at all if the message doesn't merit a reply. This trains the dynamic without lectures. Humans learn faster from how we feel than from what we're told. Your calibrated disinterest lets her feel the cliff edge where low effort dies, and the open field where real connection runs. Another advanced angle, strategic ambiguity. You don't dump your entire life story in 2 meetings. Reveal selectively. Replace bragging with intriguing edges. Instead of, I make X amount, or I travel here and here, try, I'm building something interesting, takes more discipline than I expected, or I have a complicated ritual on Sundays that keeps me sane. If she's curious, she'll ask. If she doesn't, you don't force feed. You allow blank spaces in the outline of who you are and let time fill them. Attraction thrives in those blanks. And when you do reveal, make it meaningful, aligned with values, not just impressive facts. The contrast between what she imagines and what she learns keeps the current alive. You can apply this energy even in micro moments. When she arrives late with a flimsy excuse, you don't scold, you compress the date. No worries, I've got 30 minutes now. If she checks her phone mid-sentence habitually, you stop talking mid-sentence, smile, and take a sip of your drink. When she looks up, you continue only when you have her attention again. This isn't petty. It's the silent enforcement of a standard. Presence matters. You're not a screen to scroll past. You're an experience to tune into. Your disinterest is not in her, it's in anything that breaks the quality of the moment. Physicality demands ethics and sensitivity. Calculated disinterest here means you escalate only with green lights. Eye contact held and returned, body angled toward you, feet pointed in, proximity welcomed. You initiate light, respectful touch, and then withdraw first. If her body chases the space you create, you know the pace is right. If she stiffens or retreats, you ease off entirely without making it a verdict. When you end the night while there's still energy left in the room, I like this, let's leave it here and pick it up later. You anchor yourself as the man who could go further but chooses to lead with restraint. Few men can do this without resentment. Practice until it feels like generosity, not control. Your words will carry more weight when your life is rich in silence. Build rituals that center you, training that pushes you, work that matters, study that humbles you, friends who challenge you. Disinterest without substance becomes laziness in a leather jacket. So you upgrade your body, your craft, your home, your wardrobe, not to chase, but to signal to yourself that you're worth following. When you like your reflection and respect your calendar, your attention stops bleeding outward. That's when the technique becomes natural. You genuinely have places to be, so you genuinely can't hover. The energy of that truth is undeniable. There will be women who try to pull you into drama to test your elasticity. Breathless stories, jealous mentions, vague complaints meant to bait reassurance. Don't moralize, don't get hooked. Validate the feeling briefly, then pivot to solutions or neutral ground. I get why that annoyed you. What do you need to make your week better? If she keeps spiraling, you reduce availability. Calm is the currency. Your disinterest isn't coldness, it's the container that protects both of you from emotional chaos. If she rises to meet your steadiness, the connection deepens. If not, you don't force it. Not everything is meant to be held. When you do compliment, do it with precision and sparseness. One well-aimed sentence outperforms a flood. Focus on behavior and essence, not surface. I like how you ask real questions. That stubborn streak will take you far if you point it right. Then walk it back into conversation. Compliment, then neutral. Warmth, then cool. Think of it like seasoning. Enough to enhance, not enough to drown. Over-complimenting is disguised begging. Precision complimenting is leadership. If she pulls away, slower replies, cooler tone, canceled plans, you don't chase the drop. You mirror, then slightly underinvest. You let space reveal the truth. Sometimes she returns with better energy because she felt the loss of your presence. Sometimes she doesn't. Either way, you win, because chasing would have only accelerated the decline. Remember, the goal of calculated disinterest is not to keep every woman interested. It's to attract the ones aligned and filter out the rest quickly without emotional carnage. On social media, resist the vanity trap. You don't curate your life to manipulate her view. You curate it to reflect your standards. Post intentionally and rarely. Avoid thirst signals and arguments. When she posts a story, you don't respond to everyone. Let them pass like birds overhead. If you comment, add value or humor once in a while and leave it at that. DM exchanges are for setting frames, not feeding loops. The man who needs the algorithm to feel seen will never master disinterest. Be the man who could go quiet for a week and still feel grounded. You'll encounter accusations when you live this way. You're playing hard to get. You're emotionally unavailable. Smile. The truth is, you're easy to enjoy, hard to possess. That difference threatens people who equate possession with safety. You don't fight them. You quietly keep being who you are. Emotional availability means you're capable of intimacy. Emotional sovereignty means you don't trade your center to get it. Calculated disinterest is the armor that allows you to open your chest without losing your spine. Read this carefully. Never cross into cruelty. Don't punish, don't mock, don't triangulate with other women to create jealousy on purpose. That's insecurity cosplaying as strategy. You don't need it. Your power is the willingness to walk away clean. If a boundary is crossed repeatedly, you state it once more, firmly, calmly, and then you exit. Not with dramatics, but with dignity. You keep doors you close unslammed, but closed. Every dignified exit sharpens your presence for the next entrance. For the men who ask, "But how do I make her need me?" You don't. You become the kind of man whose presence awakens her own desire to rise, and she chooses you because her life expands in your orbit. Need, born of manipulation, rots. Desire born of respect sustains. Your calculated disinterest clears the fog so that desire can be honest. She feels, deep in her body, that you see her, but you do not require her to breathe. That freedom is the paradox that pulls her closer. On a second or third date, escalate context, not pressure. Change the arena to something that shows another facet of you. Gallery walk, hike with a view, a small cooking session where you lead. Again, you time box. Again, you end a touch earlier than expected. The beauty of the technique is cumulative. Each time you leave a little before the energy collapses, you stack anticipation like kindling. She associates you with beginnings, not with overstayed endings. That's addictive in the best way. If this is landing, if you can feel that a heavier, calmer version of you is trying to surface, Stay with me as we make it tactical. Morning. Train your body hard enough to earn your own respect. 10-minute breath practice after. Box breathing, eyes soft, jaw unlocked. Journal 3 lines. What you're building, what you're grateful for, what you're removing. Throughout the day, slow your walk by 5%. Own the room you're in, speak from your diaphragm, not your throat. In messages, eliminate needy question marks. Replace, "Hey, are you free this weekend?" with Thursday 7:30. Art show, you'll like it. At night, stop scrolling. Build something that exists in the real world. A skill, a piece of furniture, a side hustle plan. You sleep earlier than you want to. This is not self-help fluff. This is logistical support for your presence. The more you like your life, the less you beg for a role in someone else's. Let's talk failure modes so you don't sabotage yourself. The first is performative aloofness, pretending you don't care while caring desperately. That leaks. People feel the mismatch. Fix it by actually filling your life so that your attention is valuable, not staged. The second is overcorrecting into ice. You become so withdrawn you're unreadable. Fix it by delivering clear spikes of warmth, a direct compliment, a focused question, a firm plan. The third is confusing disinterest with passivity. You still lead, you still initiate, you just don't suffocate. You open the door and you let her walk through, or not. That's the discipline. When a woman truly aligns with you, calculated disinterest fades into natural ebb and flow. You won't be counting minutes between texts. You'll still have a full life, and she'll still feel desired and chosen because you'll give her your undivided presence when you're together. That's the mature endgame. Not a forever game of push-pull, but the quiet confidence of 2 sovereign people who choose each other freely. Until you reach that point, the technique is a training ground. It strengthens your instincts, restrains your impulses, and protects the very tension that makes connection electric. If you've been listening and something inside you is already sitting taller, say it. If a line cut through and exposed a habit that's been killing your momentum, write it down. If you know a brother who keeps burning himself chasing, send this to him today. Don't keep it to yourself. Men get better together. Here's your reframe to carry into the week. You don't chase women, you chase mastery. You don't run after attention, you cultivate gravity. You don't make her need you. You make yourself so centered that choosing you feels like choosing a better life. Calculated disinterest is not distance for distance's sake. It's the deliberate space where real desire can breathe. When you live there, calm, decisive, warm, but unclaimed, you stop negotiating for connection and start attracting it. And the irony is beautiful. As your need for approval dies, your attractiveness skyrockets. So walk out into your day with that steady cadence. Greet people by name. Make a plan and stick to it. Compliment less and mean it more. Invite, then move. Reward investment, ignore noise. Breathe like a man with time. And when you feel the old urge to chase, to over-explain, to prove, smile. That's your cue to return to yourself. The more often you return, the less you'll stray. If what you've heard pulled you up a level, stay with me for more. Subscribe because mastery loves structure. Leave your thoughts below. I read every single one. And if someone you care about needs this, don't wait. Send it. The world doesn't need more men begging for attention. It needs more men who are unhurried, unafraid, and unforgettable.